So we got some fun stuff in store for today's episode.
Oh, yeah.
As you can see, we got Maciah, Aldrich.
Yo!
I'm here.
Our
Raise
special
the roof
guest.
for
Man.
Micaiah.
First guest of season 2.
Correct.
Yeah.
Probably not the last,
No.
I would say.
Wink, wink.
Almost
Definitely
certainly
not the last.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maciah, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Colin. I went to McDonald's before this,
Oh, dang.
and I wanted.
That was very recap podcast of you.
I
very-
thought I would mention McDonald's in the podcast in case
It's
we
gotta
did,
be
just
done.
to keep the trend
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
rolling. But here's
I'm going to stop you right there quick. Taylor Swift. Continue.
Nice.
There it is. I wanted to see what the whole hype was about the whole curbside pickup.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
I pull up. Actually, I ordered it 20 minutes
to be clear,
beforehand.
this was the same McDonald's that I went to.
This is
The one right over there.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I pull up. I ordered like 20 minutes before I got there, and I'm like, I couldn't find the curbside pickup.
Oh.
I drove around the whole building, couldn't find it. I was like, this is a mighty fine establishment, but I can't find the curbside pickup, so I changed my order. I walked in, and it took like 10 minutes to get my food, even though I ordered it 20 minutes ago. But I couldn't find the curbside pickup. Nor could I find the person who you.
Well, I don't think you'd be able to recognize this lady.
Do
'cause
you
I didn't
still not
describe
know
her.
where the curbside pickup is?
I looked out the window and saw it and realized I wasn't as smart as I thought I was.
Yeah, it's just right there.
It's just right there.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost encouraging that it took an extra 10 minutes to get your food, even though you ordered it 20 minutes ago. 'Cause that means they're making it fresh, you know.
No,
No,
it just
it was
means
good.
it's always so slow at that location.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Man.
rough.
There's a lot
That's a
of people.
bummer because they just rebuilt it.
I know.
Brand new.
That's what I'm
brand new
trying to say.
McDonald's, and they have a dumpy establishment already.
Yes.
Major L.
Hopefully they get better. I've heard people say like, well, it's all new staff, so they got to get in the swing of things and whatnot. But I mean, it's been a few months. I figured to figure it out. I don't know.
I figured they'd be good at their job by now.
It's McDonald's.
How long does
you
it
guys.
take somebody, really?
I don't know. There's really no way of knowing.
There's really no way of knowing.
Hey, everybody. This is Maciah.
I'll take this over. Welcome back to the Recap Podcast, everybody. My name's Ian. This is Colin, and we have our guest today for episode 22, Maciah. Welcome, Maciah,
Thank you
to the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to be
That
here.
it is.
Very excited. I've been wanting to be on the pod for a long time.
Yeah.
I'd consider myself one of the top 3 biggest fans here.
Whoa.
Who are
Yeah.
the top 3, Maciah? From
I
a
would
Dexter,
say.
who are the top 3 Dexters?
Well, I would say Tate. Probably
Tate.
number 1.
Tate number 1, above Dexter himself, you think?
I haven't really heard a lot from Dexter recently.
That's fair.
That's
you know
fair.
What I'm saying?
That's
You know
fair.
what I'm saying? I think he got passed up by Tate, but I would say Dexter's second, and I think I take third place on that one.
Yeah.
I listen. When do you release the pod? On Thursday.
Thursday at 5 a.m.
5 a.m. I listened to it about 7 or 8.
Nice.
Probably one
On
of the first
Thursday.
ones. Look at
A
you.
couple hours there.
I look forward to the pod every week, and
It's great.
these guys are my good friends, so it's just fun.
It's a fun time.
Yeah. It's very good. I thought it would be appropriate to kind of address who you are in relation to us beyond just like our buddy. So I kind of want to hear it from your end because I obviously know how I think we met.
Okay.
But let's see if we can relive this a little bit. I kind of want to know, and I think the listeners would enjoy knowing like how you're connected to us and how we got from there to here. It's actually a really cool story.
It is cool.
It's a cool story. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
tell the story.
We don't have to get into a ton of detail, but
No,
just a quick
just-
summary.
I don't really know a lot of detail. I know.
Just give a quick
So I
summary
live
then.
I live right next to a
Say exactly
Bible
what you
camp.
know.
Should I say the Bible camp name?
Yeah.
Big Sandy Camp. Shout out Big Sandy Camp.
Represent.
I lived right next to there. Not right next to it, but closer than these guys. But, I think it was like 2017
That sounds right.
when we first went to that camp. Your older brother Logan. I think me and him kind of like talked more, but it was like pretty like just passing by kind of thing. We saw each other the next year, and then we roomed together in 2019.
Wild.
Both these guys.
Wild.
And it was definitely the best year of camp I've had.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That was
Counselor, just crazy
was
things
our-
that
who was our
happened.
counselor?
Counselor
year?
Tim, right?
Tim.
I think Lou was my favorite counselor I've
Tim
ever
was
had.
rapping.
I think Tim
did
was
you
my
remember his
favorite.
rap?
Tim was a great counselor. I think it was my favorite year of camp. Yes,
Yeah.
but I think Lou was my favorite cabin leader, counselor, whatever.
Okay.
He brought us chicken nuggets the last night and let us watch the Avengers movie. I mean,
That's true.
Dude, we
in
had
the
a pillow
cabin.
fight and a dance competition
That's true too.
the last night, but
that's true. We did in the gym, right?
in the gym. And
Yeah.
I won the dance competition.
That's-
in your face, Logan. It still haunts him to this day. He
Nice.
I don't want to expose him when he did, but yeah, no, it was a great time. Met these guys, kept in contact with these guys. Mostly Logan, somewhat Ian, not really Colin.
No, you
No.
didn't. You jerk.
I'm sorry.
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
Get off the pod.
So, kept in contact with these guys, and I moved down to the kind of the Minneapolis area last year, and met up with Logan, and then went to the college that they were attending, and then from there I just was there hanging out with these guys all the time. Honestly, a huge blessing.
Yeah.
Just coming here,
For
not
sure.
really knowing anyone, but I knew these guys, and it's just I grew friendships from there, and then kind of got more familiar with the city's area, and yeah,
Totally wild. It was crazy to think that like, it was I mean, when did you show up? Like 2022? Probably.
Yes, it was
2022?
last year in January, end
Yeah.
of January.
So like
Yeah.
like 3 years roughly of like sort of keeping up with Maciah here and there. I'd send texts every now and then. I remember me and you would talk occasionally. And then all of a sudden he just shows up on campus just to hang, mind you. He never attended the school.
No, I was there. I don't know. I stayed the night in Logan's apartment for like it was probably like 6 nights,
Yeah.
6 or 7 nights.
Dang.
Yeah.
And
Ow.
you never formally went there.
No, he
No,
never
no.
attended
No,
the
dang.
school. He just like showed up to hang.
I always
It was
thought you went
awesome.
there for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
That's funny.
I think a lot of the students did too.
Yeah.
They were
How
like,
is
"Oh,
this
it's
guy
Maciah."
always just here? It's crazy because he never has classes. He's just here.
Just always hangs out.
Why isn't he studying ever?
No, that was a good recap. Yeah. You see what I did there?
I did see what you did there.
Yeah, Maciah's been a solid friend. I think most of the time that we've known him, and then just like
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
well,
Well, you know, there
Minus
was
the
that
beef.
one time.
Minus the beef.
you know, we
right
had
now
that
we're
thing
having.
that happened.
Oh,
Just kidding.
yeah.
But we did.
That'll be a story for the Patreon.
Yo,
Exclusive.
what?
Are you guys starting a Patreon?
We
for-
could.
We could.
I think personally, we know what we're talking about. It would be hilarious
Yes.
on a
Yeah.
more exclusive version.
It'd be hilarious
Right.
if people paid us money to hear the
The
story.
story.
It's a good story.
It would totally let people down, I think. Anyway, but it's a pretty good story.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that's like kind of our connection to Maciah, and he's been a really big, like you said, really big supporter of the pod from the beginning, and we appreciate that a ton. So we wanted to have him on because we are equipped. If you're watching the video, you can see
You should be
we
watching
got a
the
new
video.
thing to be able to have guests on. So more guests coming for sure.
Oh, yes.
If you're only listening, we have a new audio interface that lets us have a max of 4 mics instead of 2.
I mean, let's not get crazy. 4, that would be wild.
That would be
We've
wild.
already done 4.
We have
With
it's
2
pretty
mics.
crazy.
With
Yeah.
2 mics, we
Yeah.
did it. It was bad,
worked.
but it was fun.
It was.
The old
Good
passeroo.
The old passeroo. Okay, so Maciah, you have mentioned with us prior to the recording of the podcast that you have some things that you would like us to talk about.
Yes. That is something I didn't
Now's
mention.
your time,
He says
dude.
that as though he hasn't thought about it since he said it.
He goes, yeah.
Yes, I may have said that at a point.
Did you or did you not? It's cool if you don't. I'm just
Well, I mean, we could talk about the reel.
This is to the time for that segment you were talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Remember you asked
Okay.
us a few weeks ago, what's a guy got to do
What's
to
a
get
guy
a
got to
segment?
do?
I do
is your time.
have a conspiracy for those who are interested in conspiracies.
Well, hold on. We gotta name the segment.
Clearly, it's easier for Maciah to get on the podcast itself than to actually have his own segment.
All right, here we go. Just can you do the?
Hit the
We're
sound
starting
effect.
the new
Hit
segment.
the sound effect.
Oh, I don't know if I have that sound effect on here anymore. I'll do this
shoot.
one. Boom.
That works.
We're gonna hop right into Kaya's conspiracies.
So, to recap, Maciah gave us this idea for a segment where we talk about conspiracies that he brings to us. So, Maciah searches out the conspiracies, brings them up, and then we just chat about them. And we're calling it Kaya's conspiracies because
And we're
they
gonna
both
rate
have
them,
C's.
right?
We're rating them like 1 to 10,
Yeah.
most believable to
Yeah.
least believable.
Yeah.
Like 10 being it's a for sure thing.
10 being, I fully believe that.
Okay. 10 being absolutely the moon landing's fake. 1 being you're an insane flat earther.
Or just
That's
1
ridiculous.
being, I 100% don't believe that.
Yeah, I just had to
Yeah,
throw
yeah,
in my
that-
own little, thing with that. Anyway,
that was good. Yeah, well, this week on Kaya's conspiracies, we're gonna be talking about the pyramids.
Uh-oh.
of Giza
Yes,
or Giza?
it's Giza.
Gaza?
Egypt?
Egypt, the Egyptian pyramids. And I want to bring these.
They're
This,
not
this,
even real.
This question to you guys. Maybe you've heard about this conspiracy in the past. I'm sure a lot of people have if they are into that.
I
kind
know
of thing.
almost nothing about it.
Really.
Yeah. I know that
I think I know where you're getting.
I know that there's
where you're
pyramids
going.
and I know that there's conspiracies surrounding them.
Oh,
That's
that's
all I
fun.
know.
I think kind of the format of this segment. I bring you a conspiracy, talk about it a little bit, and then
Yep.
I want to have your view on it, and then give kind of my view on it.
Love it.
So you're going to
This
be
one-
objective, then get our subjective, then you give your subjective.
Yes.
Colin likes grammar. He
I'm
likes language.
really good at using words. I'm
good.
better than all of you.
My vocabulary is extensive.
Nice.
Thank
Look
you.
at you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
That was great. Yeah, the pyramids, they're in Egypt. There's 3?
There's 3 larger pyramids
Right.
that are typically come into your head when you say like pyramids. You typically see the 3 bigger ones. The 2 ones are complete, and the last one doesn't have the top on it.
And then there's 14 smaller ones.
I'm gonna look up when they were
Okay.
when they
I'm
were
just
even
making that
built.
up. I don't know.
That's what I figured you were doing.
But sounds right.
It's like the unfinished pyramid, the all-seeing eye, that whole Illuminati, which obviously isn't about on today's episode.
We'll save that for a bigger episode. We can't
Maybe
Oh,
maybe
can't drop all
episode
the
50.
Illuminati.
we can't drop
What?
all the conspiracies
What?
at once.
That'd be crazy.
Makai is freaking out about the Illuminati right now as we speak.
That'd be cool. Segment. Okay, so the pyramids of Giza were built in 2550 to 2490 BC.
2550. That's a long
2550.
time ago. That's almost
That
I was trying to figure out if that aligns with a young Earth theology or not. I was like, okay,
Nice.
okay, we're good. We're good.
Does it?
Yeah, I think so.
it does. I think it does.
okay. Let me paint you a picture here.
Oh boy.
The pyramids of Giza, they're built so the bricks are built so tightly together, you can't even fit a piece of paper in between them.
That is insane.
Not only that, but they are still discovering places inside the pyramids, just these weird trapped holes, just tunnels and stuff.
Yeah.
How do you guys think the Egyptians built a pyramid? Do you think there was a alternative way that they could have built it, or if they have
The
help
aliens
from
helped.
Like
a,
aliens? Is that where we're going with this? Oh yeah,
aliens?
I suppose you're not giving the or what's the. Wait, are you giving the
I want
conspiracy
to know.
theory?
Well,
you want to?
that's the conspiracy. I'm asking you guys how you think they were built, and if there's any, if they had any help from any celestial beings
Sure.
or anything like that.
I'll go first. I guess my initial thought would be no, they didn't have help. I would just, it was just mostly slave labor. I thought, right? Like the Israelites were slaves for a while of the Egyptians. I think. I don't know if that was around the same time period, but I think they were. That was part of it.
They were.
They were building the
Yep.
pyramids.
I don't know that they were building the pyramids necessarily. There's nothing.
I don't know for certain. I guess
There's
but-
nothing in scripture that points to that.
But there's stuff
happening.
about brick making, correct? I guess other stuff is made out of bricks than just pyramids.
Yeah,
but
most stuff is made out of bricks.
But the tightly packedness of the bricks, to me, I guess just seems like over time they would start to just compress with all that weight. You know, they might not have been that tightly packed. And can you get a piece of paper between like normal bricks on a house?
Not with mortar.
Right. Did they use mortar?
They did not use mortar.
Boom.
Okay. So I just don't know. Maybe it's aliens. What do you got, Ian?
Give me 1 second.
Are you just Googling the answer right now?
No. I have a thing, but I just have to make sure that all my stuff's lined up quick.
Are you fact checking yourself in real time? Is that what's happening?
Yep.
How do you have Wi-Fi? He just told me like 30 minutes ago. He's like, there's no Wi-Fi.
We don't have
here.
Wi-Fi here, actually. I have pretty mid Wi-Fi currently.
That's crazy. I have none.
Here is my. This is not loading now. See,
we
you had to
just
say
Okay.
it. The last. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh.
Below the.
It's
Okay.
remarkable.
Can you look up how tall the pyramid is for me really quick?
I will,
Okay.
yep.
Here we go. In meters, please. Specifically in meters. Okay, so here's what I know. The pyramids were fashioned like really remarkably for the time. Like, believe what you want. Aliens helped them. That would be wild. Aliens didn't help them. Okay, whatever. Like, the feat of doing what they did is remarkable.
That's
okay?
right.
Oh,
That's
100%.
the point. That's what we're talking
Yes,
about.
that's the point.
139 meters.
139 meters tall.
Which is-
Okay, keep that in the back of your heads. Now, the heaviest stone,
400.
okay? The heaviest stone like involved in the construction of the pyramid weighs somewhere between, and I know this ranges, okay? This is a large range, but either way it's ridiculously heavy. 25 to 80 tons. Okay? Big margin, but regardless, 25 tons is very heavy.
Yeah.
Okay? And it is found in the King's Chamber. It weighs 25 to 80 tons, and it says that they were transported from Aswan. I think that's how you pronounce it. It says it's more than 800 kilometers or 500 miles away from where the pyramids are actually built. So they transported these stones that they built the King's Chamber out of 500 miles. They weigh 25 to 80 tons. Okay. Now the heaviest stones. I saw it just a second ago, but I can't find it anymore. How were
On this one?
no? How were the stones transported? The best way that we can kind of come up with is that they sort of like set poles at the front and then they pulled them over the poles. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and rolled them over the sand.
Yep.
Could do it. 500 miles is a really long ways. Okay,
It's true.
I can't even get 500 miles on one tank of gas.
Right.
Like, I just
But when
can't
you have
do it.
slave labor, you can get a lot done.
I mean, yeah, you can.
that's all.
You can. But 500 miles is still ridiculously
Right,
far away.
yeah.
Okay. Now, here's the kicker. The King's Chamber, which is where these heaviest stones are, 25 to 80 tons, it happens to be 95 meters below the apex of the pyramids. And the pyramids are how tall?
139.
139. Quick math tells me that is 42 meters high. Okay?
Okay.
Right? 42?
How many? I forgot
Below
the first number.
the apex. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
How many
42.
meters was
right?
it below the
139,
apex?
42 plus 95?
Yeah.
Seven. That's not quite.
Well, it's something
Whatever,
around
it's
there.
around
We
there.
can be
Okay.
saying It's close.
At least 40 meters high. Okay? So the heaviest stones within the pyramid are at least 40 meters off the ground. The question that I have is, how did they get it up there? Slave labor is a answer that I'm willing to.
That's like the inverse of the Sunday school answer of Jesus. It's
Yeah.
just slave labor.
Slave labor. They did it with slaves. Okay, but how many people does it take to lift a car?
A lot. And it's a lot more than a car.
Let's say,
I don't know.
quick.
I'm going to say
I would say
20 people.
6 to 10.
I'm more with Colin's
that.
answer.
Yeah.
6 to 10. I think you could get a car off the ground. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
I'd
a
say something
like a
10. I'd
like
say
a
something like 10.
like a small SUV,
Yep.
like any of our cars, right? That's not an SUV.
Sedan.
Small
Sedan.
sedan. Thank you.
Yep, there you go.
Right. So 6 to 10 people, and a car weighs what? Like 3 tons?
I have no idea.
3 tons, 6,000 pounds? Roughly? Let's
I
give
think-
it a rough estimate.
I think less.
Okay.
No, well,
Could be less.
No, like a truck, like you have like a quarter ton,
Hey guys,
or not a quarter.
did
ton,
you hear about this
3/4 ton.
thing called Google?
You have 1 ton.
Apparently, our Wi-Fi
one-ton
doesn't
truck.
work though. So
Mine's working.
I feel
I
like
don't
cars
think
are not
how-
6,000.
I don't think a
pounds.
1-ton truck is the weight of the truck.
No, I'm not saying it is.
Oh, it's.
Does
My
a
apologies.
car
That's okay. That's okay.
weigh?
I don't
How
know
much
for sure.
Does a car weigh?
I-
Here we go. Mr. Google says,
I feel.
and
that like
it's
the tow
loading,
weight of it?
and it's loading.
Maybe like how
Oh
much
my
it-
gosh,
the,
it's a reference
What is a
thing.
1 ton? Is it?
It's the towing capacity, I believe.
Okay.
Um,
That's what I was gonna say.
How
I think it's one of those
much-
things like horsepower though that isn't actually what it actually is.
Right.
You know, like a half-ton truck isn't going to be exactly half.
Okay.
You know, they just make stuff
Small
up.
small cars usually weigh around 1 ton, and large automobiles around 2 tons.
A ton 2 or
Give or
4,000.
take 2,000.
Okay.
Okay, give or take. So SUVs or trucks can range from 3,500 pounds to 6,000 pounds. Okay,
So 2 to 6,000 for a car.
2 to 6,000 pounds for a car. Okay, we are talking about, and you said 6 to 10 people. I'm okay with that math. Okay,
So at
So-
the most, we say 10. Let's say 10 people for a 6,000, or for 5,000. That would be 50 people for 25 tons, which is the minimum of that.
no, what?
If we say
Sorry?
10 people for 6 tons, right?
Okay,
Let's just round that down to 5 tons. Then 25 tons, you said, for the minimum of that brick.
okay,
That'd be 50 people.
okay.
To lift.
Sure. Then I'm not on board with your math. 25 tons is 50,000 pounds.
What did I? Oh, I multiplied. I did. Yes, my multiplication screwed up because
Okay.
I did. So it should be double what I said. It'd be 100 people.
So 100
right?
people. I still don't think that math adds up
I don't
because
think it
that's
does
like
either.
100 people. So
That would be.
Okay, do it this way. How many pounds is 25 tons?
that's 500 pounds a person. If you have 100 people for 50,000.
yeah, that's not
You're
going to
not-
work.
That's not gonna
Regardless,
work.
These
okay.
slaves aren't deadlifting 500 pounds like
Right,
that.
but how
like-
big are these stones? I mean, how many people can you get around them?
I have no idea.
Right?
They're-
If you have some kind of pulley system, do they have pulleys then?
Okay,
They
but
did
what
have
kind
a-
of
they did
what
have
kind
a
of rope
pulley
do they
system.
have that can withstand 500,000 pounds or 50,000 pounds?
Just a lot of it.
That's a crazy rope. We don't have ropes like that today, like regular
So,
ropes.
okay.
They're steel cable.
So what are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that the evidence of these heavy stones being as high as they are brings me to the conclusion that I don't think, well, and I'm not even really necessarily sold on it enough to be willing to say that like
gonna say aliens.
extraterrestrials helped them. But I think that there's more to it than saying that like slave labor helped them. I would be willing to think that like, oh, I don't know. I think it's fun. I think the idea of aliens helping them is fun. I think that it's also fun to think that they're actually just like the tip of something even bigger.
Here's my theory I came up with just now as
Oh.
you were doing all that
Cool.
math. That's why my math was so bad, is because I was theorizing in the background. That's why. I'm actually
We
good
respect
at
you.
math. we respect you. I appreciate that.
Also, the drill holes. Have you guys heard about? Sorry, go ahead. Do your
Okay.
thing, Chris.
Okay.
Then I'll do that one.
Here's my theory. I think more broadly speaking, with aliens, when people report alien sightings, I think more often than not it's just demons. That's my
Okay.
hot take. I also think / know that there, at least for a while, the Israelites were in captivity from Egypt.
Correct.
So the Egyptians were like the direct enemies of God's people for at least a certain time in history. Demons.
No.
Why not?
That doesn't count.
Why not? What do you mean?
Okay, so are you suggesting that demons built the pyramids of Giza?
I think that when
Empowered people to?
when Egyptians were worshiping their false gods, I think that could have been in part demons they were worshiping,
Okay.
and that they may have had a part in building the pyramids.
Why?
I don't know. To lead people away from the true God.
But I could be wrong about this. I don't think the pyramids were built in like an act of worship. I don't think they were.
They were. I think a lot of them were tombs for pharaohs.
Yes, that is correct.
And pharaohs were believed to be gods
Yes.
They're
like,
monument
in human
monuments.
forms. So
Tombs of the pharaoh's death was merely
imagine, if you will, a pharaoh, in some instances at least, was a person possessed by a demon, and they were worshiping that person / demon, and in doing so, they built them a pyramid.
Okay.
That's my theory.
Interesting theory. I'm gonna have to say.
But you think it's more likely that it was aliens from other planets?
No.
What do you think it was then?
No, I didn't say that.
It's kind of what you said.
Is that what I said?
that
Well,
what you
that's not what I said.
What did you say then?
I don't see. Okay.
I'm just asking questions over here.
I think that demons don't act without motive necessarily. Like they're working towards something.
Yeah.
I don't see the like building the pyramids. I don't see how that helps them.
How does I think anything that's a supernatural occurrence outside of God can lead people away from God.
Okay.
So that seems like motivation enough because their goal is to lead people away from God.
Sure. I'm still not totally sold on it, but
That's fine. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm convincing myself as we speak. I just came up with this like in the past 10 minutes. So
yeah.
Good.
Also, here's another thing. Okay, about the pyramids.
yeah,
some of the drill like holes that are made, and this could just be aging and like weathering.
right.
I guess potentially. I think it could be. The drill, like the holes that they made, are like smooth enough to the point where like they couldn't be done without using like a hand drill, is what they say. Okay, this is what the experts say. Right? It couldn't be done without using a hand drill. Hand drill wasn't invented until like 600 years after the pyramids were supposedly built. Coincidence? I think aliens. I'm just kidding.
It's clearly aliens and not just they invented it earlier, right? It's got to be.
Well,
It has to be aliens.
they didn't invent it earlier.
What do you? It can't be. It can't be.
No, can't be. Anyway,
Are you being serious or not right now?
I mean, they could have invented
Right,
it
that's
earlier.
what I'm
I don't.
It seems like good
I
enough
feel like it would be
evidence.
documented though in 600 years of a.
I feel like it would also be.
I feel like that's
documented.
good enough
Huge-
documentation
a huge-
in and of itself.
Well,
if
yeah,
they-
but there's
if-
not a ton of other things that were drilled before the time.
Sure. That could also just be weathering, like you said, I think.
Could be. How do you weather inside of a little drill hole, though?
I mean, wind gets in stuff. So
Wind
does water.
does get in stuff, so does water, but wind and water don't smooth stone out.
Yeah, they do.
Like
They both
that,
do.
though. Like that, like how would it smooth it out around?
I've seen rocks that have came out of a river, and
You're like perfectly round. Yeah.
no, they're a circle, but they have a hole that I
Oh, yeah, I've
thought
seen
that I
that
thought
too.
were carved out by Native Americans. I heard it somewhere that he was Native American, and it was called fracking. It's when they make.
I know fracking.
It's when I think that's what it's called. That's when they make arrowheads.
not the oil
They
thing,
chip
though.
stones, and I think he told me that they Native Americans used to like carve out those rocks in the circular pattern, but then kind of later debunked by the when it's in the current and a rock gets in a certain place that has a chip in it, the rock like circles around from the current
Cool.
so much, like over time, just over and over again, just nonstop, and it makes that little divot.
That's wild.
But that's
That's
in a current.
That's in a river, though,
Like a
which the
river.
pyramids are not. What
You
if
don't
they
know that.
were?
You don't know
What
that.
if they were? What if they were in a river? Okay. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm not saying that aliens did it. To recap what I'm saying, I'm not saying that aliens did it. I'm not saying that aliens didn't. All I'm saying is there's definitely more to it than slave labor. I also said that, and I didn't get to finish this, I think that the idea of the pyramids being like only the tip of like something is cool. Because because if you dig down, the pyramids continue under the sand.
Sure.
I don't know how far, maybe people do know how far, and I just don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know that they continue under the sand, which is cool. Like what if it's something crazy? I don't know. Anyway,
tell us what do we do next, Maciah?
What I think
he's going to tell us his opinion.
Okay. Well, what's the conspiracy? We don't even know that yet, do we?
The conspiracy,
or is that it's
I think the
aliens?
conspiracy is simply like, how did this happen? Because
But that's not a conspiracy. That's just a question.
It's did the Egyptians have an extraterrestrial something
Did something else beyond
manipulating
humans.
them, or beyond human strength, helping them build it?
Gotcha. Okay.
What do you
So
think?
Colin thinks the conspiracy is a 10. Then you think that yes.
No, that's just a theory. I don't necessarily think.
Well,
that.
remember you're gonna have to rate this.
I will. I'm coming up with it as I'm thinking.
All right.
I'm thinking.
All right.
My take on the whole thing is, there was I listened to, I think it was a podcast about it, and
You're cheating on us?
and it was before the recap pod.
Okay.
It was way before. It was years ago.
They were trying to debunk the theory about aliens building the pyramids. Apparently there was like rivers that dried up that led to the pyramids, and that's how they got them 500 miles away, because they had them on boats.
That's a drill.
Cool.
What I think happened, even with those drills and stuff, I maybe not aliens per se, but I think that there was some sort of spiritual force giving them ideas of these advanced tools and advanced pulley systems and ways to build the ropes strong enough, because I don't think back then there was anything strong enough, or to be able to even get those things up there. So what I think is that they were being almost like mind controlled a little bit,
Whoa.
Oh.
kind of
Whoa.
little manipulated, or maybe the slaves weren't, but maybe the higher ups
Sure.
of the Egyptians, like Pharaoh and his right hand man, the higher ups,
Could be.
because they were, from my understanding, very spiritual people. They believed in a lot of these gods, like Ra and whatever, the sun god.
I think they had like hundreds of gods.
Yeah, no, and they did a lot of pagan practices and stuff like that. And I think that they were really spiritual. So I think they could have got these ideas. Why are you looking at my phone?
Sorry.
Ian's just texting me as we're
I texted
recording.
Colin. I had a question, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, so that's what I think. I think I'm gonna give my rating right now.
Do it.
Okay.
You guys have your ratings. I think my rating is about an 8.
Wow. You're convinced that this didn't happen on normal terms.
I don't know if it, because I think Satan can deceive people.
Yeah.
And if you're willing, if you're like wanting to listen to specifically Satan,
Right.
because the pyramids were used to do burials and these burial rituals and all this stuff to send these pharaohs into the afterlife. And I think that's a pretty spiritually significant occurrence and
For sure.
stuff like that.
Agreed.
What
You
do you
give it an
think?
8. I think I'm going to go with like a 5.
So you think it's less likely that something non-human helped them?
Well, out of 10, mathematically, my answer would be that I don't think that it's likely either way.
You think it's equally likely?
Equally likely. Correct.
Okay.
I think that humans are capable of incredible feats, and that has been what
I'm just,
you don't
I
like the word
no,
feats?
No. It's a great word. It's a great word.
Did I use it incorrectly?
No, I'm not laughing at the word. I just think it's funny that you were like, I said slave labor, and then you spent like your whole time talking about how it would have been impossible for them
There's
to make
no
this.
way it's slave labor.
And then you were like,
okay?
I mean, humans are pretty great though. Like, I think we could have done.
I think that you can't raise the question about the pyramids without saying the same thing about like the Great Wall of China or things similar.
I think you can
to
though,
it.
because the bricks are smaller. You see,
That's true.
smaller
They're smaller,
bricks,
but
easier
they're
lift.
definitely taller.
Are they taller?
I believe the Great Wall of China is taller than the pyramids, but
Can I get a fact
I
check on
for
that?
sure could be wrong.
It's definitely longer. I'll
If
give
I'm
you
wrong,
that for sure.
Okay, you know what? Why don't you stop patronizing?
Why don't you
me?
shut up, okay?
Isn't it
patronizing?
You know what?
I
Just
don't
leave
even know what that word means.
Leave the big words to me. Okay?
Yeah, I should.
And I'll handle that.
Anyway,
Fine.
all I'm saying is that, like, if somebody was to somehow prove that the pyramids were totally, definitely built,
The average height of the wall is 7.8 meters.
all right, I'm way off.
All
but
right.
regardless, was I just saying things to sound good? Yes. Here's my point. If somebody was to somehow be able to prove that that the pyramids were built by something other than human hands, I would be not as surprised as somebody who would rate this conspiracy a 0.
Yes.
I don't know
That's how the
how
rating
else to
system
say
works.
it. I don't know how else to say it. Okay.
That's good. I'm closer to Maciah's side for sure. I'd probably, not to piggyback off yours, but I'd also say 8,
Wow.
I think. I'm becoming more and more convinced of something along somewhere between my and Maciah's theory, which is pretty much the same thing, I would argue.
Yeah,
Similar enough.
similar.
Yeah, that's all I've got. I think I've fleshed that out pretty well.
It's unpacked great. We unpacked it.
We really dove into that topic.
All right, that's enough. Okay. Colin, do you want to intro the next segment?
Is that your only conspiracy, or do you got more?
No, yeah, that was my only one.
Okay.
I think that's. Well, I had more, but
I think it's good to
for
do
a
that.
later date.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
For next time, we'll save it.
And next time, next episode, Maciah won't be here.
Right.
Okay. So we might have to do it without him.
Well, it is Kaya's conspiracy.
I could.
stuff.
I'll just send it on the DMs.
Dude,
Bro,
send
you
it-
could
extra
send us a
DM
voice.
action.
You could send us a voice memo or a video.
Yeah, send us a
of-
video
of
describing it.
both parts. So like you do your thing and then whatever. That would be fun. Do that.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
All right.
Because then I have more time
Okay.
to research.
This is awesome. This is awesome, you guys. Oh my gosh. I also have this is off mic stuff to talk about. I have some ideas for a different segment.
Oh, sweet.
I'll talk to you about. Go ahead and do the thing I just told you to do.
Intro the next thing. Yes.
Should I use the sound button?
Go for it.
Nice.
Classic.
Classic. I was gonna switch it back, but you can't while you're recording.
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
So
Oh, well.
I'm sorry that I didn't do that.
It's all right, man.
It's fine.
You have to. You have to mess with it later.
Yeah.
And just get get some cool things on there.
We'll start over after we're done. This is just our practice round.
This is the practice pod.
Last episode, Ian and I ended with reviewing / reacting to the trailer
/
for
recapping.
Yes, for the Marvels, which is an upcoming Marvel movie. And
Didn't you cut that?
Maybe if you're confused as to why
Oh.
you don't remember that, it's because it ended up getting cut. Unfortunately, there was some weirdness with the sound and stuff.
Oh, bumskis.
Anyway, that's okay.
You like that word?
Bumskis.
Bumskis. So Maciah has not seen the movie.
I have not.
We have though.
So if he's
Ian and-
silent during this part, sorry.
We didn't know he was going to be
But
on.
he can. He's.
I haven't even seen Miss Marvel. I saw Captain
neither.
Marvel.
I saw Miss Marvel, most of it, and Captain Marvel.
Most-
Um,
Like, I can't do it anymore.
We-
Turn it off.
it was actually a pretty good show. Miss Marvel was all right.
It's a show.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't even know.
But
The only-
anyway,
the
we
only
didn't say this, but Ian and I saw the movie,
Yeah.
The Marvels, last weekend.
Strictly for podcast content.
We didn't want to watch the movie.
I didn't want to
We
go
would
see
never-
that feminist agenda
We
movie.
would never
okay?
do that. We would never do that.
However,
However, we
we
did.
And we loved it.
It was so good.
no.
I almost died.
No. Do you remember the ratings we gave it? Because we gave it out of 10.
I think I said. Did we say like? I think we were both around like 6.
Yeah, I think so too. We're above average. Above it, but let me preference quick. We gave it a 6 in like what phase are we in right now? 5?
Of Marvel?
Yeah.
4 or 5. Yeah.
Okay.
I think 5.
Within the past 5 movies, it's like a 6 out of those ones. It's
Right.
certainly like it doesn't even. I don't even think it gets up past a 3 when you like compare it to like phase 1 of Marvel.
I'm not ranking it as a 6 among those movies. I'm ranking it as a 6 overall. What do you got there?
Read that. That's on the Marvels.
Oh yeah. It is the Lowest domestic opening weekend in MCU history. Way to go, you guys. Oh, is that what you sent me?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I was trying to find it.
you sent us something on a story though,
Oh yeah.
And it went away.
and it went away
It went
because
away.
it was a story.
Well, I
the
found it
last one, oh my goodness! So it made $47 million its opening weekend. Colin, guess what the movie prior to that with the? Do you know?
With the lowest?
Yeah.
Like second lowest? Of
Second
of
lowest
Marvel?
now. Yeah.
Was it the
Think of the one you haven't seen.
was it Thor Dark World?
No.
Was it Incredible Hulk?
Yes.
Really?
The Incredible Hulk 2008.
That's crazy. That this did worse than that.
Uh huh.
Yep.
I think you're right though
47 million.
that it didn't have a ton of marketing for one thing.
Yeah.
It didn't. They actually, and I think that's something like to actually be said, is they didn't market this movie the way that they've marketed movies in the past.
Right.
I had no idea it was coming out until a week before it came out.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You really can't judge a movie based on its box office performance. You can judge how well it was marketed and what people think of that like franchise going into it, because no one knows if the movie is good or not
Right.
when they choose to buy the ticket.
Right.
So if a movie does well, it doesn't mean that it was a good movie necessarily.
So
With that being said, it wasn't a very good movie.
it wasn't a very good movie, but it was better than I anticipated. Okay, going into it thinking, okay, this is the Marvels, so it's Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and I don't think she ever got
I
a
don't
name.
think she got a name.
The other girl.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, spoilers, by the way. The other girl with, as me and Colin put it, random energy-based power.
Yes. I mean, all three of them have random
Energy-based powers. Yeah. Well,
Or
actually, I think
generic energy-based powers.
I think Miss Marvel has a pretty unique power. So Miss Marvel has the ability to turn light into a physical object,
Yes.
What?
which is pretty energy. Like
It's just
basically,
like
she can.
The main thing she does is like puts these like purple force field looking things
Yeah.
in the air and then like runs across them.
Yeah,
you know?
or
Which is
she can
kinda
like,
cool.
or people can like run and she can put it up and they'll run into it.
She's similar to like Violet from Incredibles.
Very. That's a really good way to put
I
it.
don't think
yeah.
that's really what her
Could
powers
she
are.
make like a sword out of light?
She could. That's the thing is like there's a lot of things it seems like she could do.
She has untapped
She just
potential.
doesn't. Yes. Very young. She doesn't know.
similar to Wanda.
Yes. In the early movies.
Right.
Not anymore. She's dead now.
Is she though?
You didn't see that movie. Did you watch WandaVision?
Yes.
Okay.
Is
That's
she
not-
dead though? I mean,
I
is
think
she?
so. I think
Is she
so.
really? Okay.
Wanda
Anyway.
dead?
So
Wanda dead?
so
Oh, I haven't
basically,
seen Doctor
going into the movie.
Oh yeah, it was Doctor Strange.
Are you guys gonna keep talking?
I'm
while
not
I do this?
listening to you.
Going into the movie, that's your perception of it. You're like, this is gonna be the three Marvel girls. They're gonna slay or whatever, and it's gonna be stupid. It was halfway decent. I will say it moved faster than I
It was
expected
the shortest
to.
MCU movie.
Really? How long was it?
Like an hour and 45.
Wow. Yeah, so it moved faster than I expected to. I really expected the dialogue to be like just like boring. But it like the humor,
wasn't too bad.
the comedy in it was good. Like
It was pretty good.
it was light. They didn't like overdo the comedy aspect of it.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
There was way too much. Like they
Oh.
tried too hard
Yeah.
in that movie. Same with like Thor Love and Thunder.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Tried
Way too hard.
Yep.
Thor Ragnarok, the perfect amount.
I would agree.
The best comedy Marvel movie there is.
Yep.
But anyway, so like they did well with their drama. I think was done well. The dialogue and the drama was good. The action was what's to be expected from, like, it's basically Captain Marvel 2. Like,
Yeah. I thought the writing, like you said, the dialogue, but just the writing of the characters was better in this than the first Captain Marvel.
yeah, I'd
Characters were
agree.
a little bit less one-dimensional.
Uh-huh.
I was pleasantly surprised. I know you guys didn't see the trailer review, but there was less like just stereotypical liberal feminist talking points in the movie than I thought there would be.
Yes.
There wasn't much of that at all.
No, there really like wasn't any like I expected there to be a part in the movie where Nick Fury was like, we should call any Marvel man, right? And for Captain Marvel to go, we don't need a man here, or something like that.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any of that.
And they all high five.
We don't need a man here. We are the Marvels. The Marvelettes.
Marvelettes.
This is why we
they
should be
call
writing
it-
for Marvel.
We should be. But no, there wasn't any of that. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Let me. I want to tell Maciah about this one scene.
Do it.
The
I don't
movie.
care.
Oh,
Wait,
it was
it's
the
gonna be a spoiler,
worst
though.
part.
It was it the worst. It kind of worked though.
No, it didn't.
I've-
It didn't.
So-
Okay, here's my opinion on this scene before Colin
Yeah,
explains
yeah.
it. It had no purpose whatsoever. It was like the writer needed an idea to spice this up, and he asked his 5-year-old who just got into the school play.
Wow.
Okay. So with that,
makes sense.
And then he just took the idea and said, "Let's do it."
you're not understanding the idea the 5-year-old gave him. That's the idea he went with. That's what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Are you gonna tell me what happened?
No.
Or are you just-
No.
Okay.
All right,
I'll
moving
try to
on.
See the
for
movie
myself.
to see
You
what
have
we're
to-
talking
Okay.
about.
No, there was a scene about halfway through where they show up at this other planet, and there's Ian's threatening to hit the sound effect button. There's like they show up at this planet, and we get there, and all of a sudden people are singing. These people from this planet, and it's not immediately clear. At least it wasn't to me if they were singing in English or not. But I thought it was some like weird alien language, and it's like, oh, that I know these words.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And then we find out their language is song.
Oh no.
And so most of them can't even understand you if you don't sing.
So they had to sing to communicate.
So we find out also that there's been some off-camera story where
Yeah.
Captain Marvel is in some
diplomatic
marriage to like the prince of this planet, and she's technically a princess now.
I will say I did enjoy the fact that that happened off camera and it wasn't explored further than just
Yeah,
being
just-
like he needed a hand and we're buds, so we
Right,
got
they just
married.
didn't even And so then there's they slow dance in the middle of this group while singing to each other for about 3 minutes. This whole scene lasts about 3 minutes, I'd say.
Yep.
And then it's just over and never addressed again.
Yep.
Pretty much. Is that about how it went?
Yeah. And they're so the reason that they came is because the bad guy was coming to that place to destroy it.
Yep.
And so they're in the middle of this slow dance being like, you need to evacuate the people. And they're like,
But
never will stand fight.
It's not like that. It's like it's like well written
I will say
music. Like
the
it
music-
lyrically works.
Lyrically, yeah, that's the word. It did work, and
The whole scene was like well done. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was self-aware enough that it kind of worked.
sure.
So you guys didn't hate the scene then?
I didn't.
I'm gonna.
I don't know.
I hated it.
But
I didn't
If you
hate
were to tell me that second part about it being lyrically right and it sounded good,
I
would
will
think
say
you would like
that
it.
lyrically, the portion where the two of them were slow dancing and dialoguing at the same time while singing, like lyrically, it like rhymed, and it wasn't like a Catholic mass where they like are just singing
chanting?
what they're saying. Like it wasn't
Sure.
like that. It like rhymed and flowed. And, like, yeah, exactly. It wasn't like that. So
That
but
worked, and I think it was.
stupid, though.
I kind of enjoyed it, but then I also I'm watching bit by bit. I'm going through like all the Spider-Man movies right now, and I just watched the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. You know, like I think that was one of the first live action. Yes, Ian.
You're going through all the Spider-Man movies and you just watched the first
I
one?
just started going through all the
Oh.
Spider-Man movies. Okay,
Okay.
don't question me again.
So basically, I started at the second Amazing Spider-Man, and then I went to the
I'm going to
Spider-Verse.
what you call the Colin order, and that goes in reverse alternating order of goodness. Does that make sense?
No.
So no, I'm watching that one, and that's like the first, I think, like major live action Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Came out in 2002, but
Wow,
that's a great movie.
Good movie.
it was the
point,
first.
yeah.
Yep.
The point being,
Good movie.
look where we've come between then and now.
Would you just look at it?
Just look at it.
Just look at
Just
it.
look at it. Sometimes it's
Everybody
all you can do.
stop. Everybody stop.
When I see something like that, I say, "Would you just
Would you look at that?
Everybody stop. Okay, close your eyes. Unless you're driving.
You tell people to close their eyes a
Paint you
lot.
picture.
And and what? Let me paint you a picture of the perfect Marvel universe where instead of Iron Man dying,
What if
instead of Iron Man dying,
That was like 3 years ago.
Hawkeye died
Wow.
and saved
That'd be pretty
everyone,
mid.
and Iron Man was still in the movies. That'd be a great way to get Hawkeye out instead of just giving him a family and saying he's busy with his family. I've been busy with my family before, but never too busy to save the world.
yeah?
I love how you just turned our talk about the Marvels into just
My hate for-
hating on.
Okay,
Did you watch the show?
Hawkeye? No, but can we?
No.
Okay, end credit
I did.
scene. End credit scene of the Marvels.
Yes.
We'll end.
This is a great review of the
We'll
movie.
end the recap with the end credit scene. The end credit scene is Miss
Spoiler
Marvel.
again.
Spoiler alert. If at this point, skip to this timestamp if you want to be done. Now Colin has to put that in. He's not going to. The end credit scene is Miss Marvel recruiting
Oh, that
the
one.
new Hawkeye. There's only one.
No, there's another one. The big
New
one.
Hawkeye, which is the girl.
Yep. For like the Young Avengers or something like
yeah, for like
she
something
was in
she says.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
She says, "I'm putting together a team."
Which is a reference to that first after credit
putting
scene in
together
Iron Man
A
when
woman
Nick Fury.
Avengers team.
Goes, "I'm putting together a team."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So
I don't know
that
if
could
it's
be
like an
happening.
all-girl team up or if it's like
would
a
have
Young
to be the
Avengers.
girl of it.
Or,
The-
Oh, yeah.
the Gravengers.
I totally forgot. That's actually not the end credit scene. That's just the end of the movie.
I think it was weird. I would say it's an end credit scene.
It felt like
wouldn't
an
you?
end credit scene. The actual ending of the movie was
After the credits.
Was the girl that never got a name waking up in the X-Men universe. So
She woke up in the X-Men
universe, yeah,
What?
like like Beast, not Mr.
Not
Beast.
Mr. Beast.
So
That would be a
like
crazy
like
movie.
Beast is in front of her, like talking to her, and he's like, Charles
Because
wants to see
she,
her.
at the end of the movie, she like sacrificed herself to save them all. Right?
Yeah,
And,
she
like,
had to
ends
close.
up in some
should-
close some wormhole to another
yeah,
universe.
she had to close like a wormhole to another universe, and she ended up getting trapped in the other side of that universe, and it just so happens to be the X-Men universe.
And it was funny because
Wow.
we were watching the credits and we are like, okay, we knew what was going to
Yeah,
happen. We're
what
like,
could happen? It's going to be
she's
her.
going to wake up somewhere, and what character is going to be there?
I think didn't Lincoln say?
Lincoln said X-Men.
he said
Yeah.
X-Men.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, way to go, Lincoln.
There was an
Um,
audible gasp in the theater.
Was
when we
there?
saw that guy. Yeah.
When we saw that guy,
Yeah.
and he's a great. It was a great character to use as like, because it's like if you've ever seen any X-Men movie, you know who Beast is. So
Right.
like, because that other
I've
lady.
seen almost all of them. I don't know who Beast is.
Are you serious? The blue guy, the blue Beast.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
any of
yeah,
them,
yeah.
and I don't know who Beast is.
yeah.
Alright,
Colin hasn't seen any of them. They're like some of the best.
They are
Okay,
good.
I'll watch them.
Like,
Should
like
watch them in order from goodest. Colin's goodest order.
Well, alternating reverse
skip
order.
X2 because that
Okay.
one's not really worth it.
Okay.
I don't like that one. Anyway, no, they're actually really good.
Okay.
There's like they're confusing though because there's like two sets.
yeah, it's
There's
like
like-
Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars. They made the prequels after
Sure,
they
sure.
made the originals. So you have like the old version of these people, and then the young version, and then there's some of the movies that have both of them in there.
Oh, cool.
One movie's called Days of Future Past. Don't know what that title means, but it's a good movie.
All right.
It's a cool title.
Yeah.
That's the Marvels.
everybody. That's the Marvels.
That's the Marvels.
That's the Marvels. And
What a review.
We
Would
give it
you
about
rate
a
it?
6.
Okay.
I think we can get into 2 more things we have on here. Okay.
What?
I'm going to show you guys a picture on my phone. And if you're watching, you can see it somewhere on the screen because I'll send it to Colin. He'll throw it up there.
Yep.
So my buddy, I was playing a worship set at a monastery. Okay. So I think it's a place where monks lived.
Okay.
Wow.
Monastery.
Where was that at? you don't have to- you don't-
Stillwater, close
Okay,
to
yeah.
Stillwater. Okay.
I've worked there.
And so I get home. My worship leader comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, thanks for playing." I was like, "Yeah, you're welcome." And he stayed the night up there because they were having a retreat up there. I just went up there for the night. And he goes, "Did you happen to use the bathroom while you were there?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "You got to see this." And he took a picture of the bathroom wall, and you can see there is the flushing spigot of a urinal going through the cinder block wall
Yep.
to something on the other side.
Oh, you should send that to me, dude.
And
'Cause I'm a
he,
plumber. I gotta show that to my coworker.
all right, I will.
We'll get this figured out for you.
That is
So does someone try flushing it?
This is perfect. Colin, Maciah's a plumber.
We got an expert.
Why is this here?
Why is that there?
dude.
If you're just
I don't
listening,
know.
it's a urinal flusher like way up by the ceiling.
Yeah, like way
like
up by
above,
the ceiling,
like above a.
above a
little
paper
cabinet.
towel rack too.
Like where you could barely reach it.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, but they were like they were joking about flushing it,
And they
I
didn't
was
do
like,
it? They didn't
"You
try it?"
Totally should have flushed it.
I think it's literally just. There's no way that's connected to anything, man.
You think it's just a joke?
Well,
think it's
that's
just
what
a
doesn't
joke.
make sense because it was a
You don't-
monastery.
Because
You wouldn't
Catholics
need to
don't
do
joke. We know this. They don't believe in that.
Wow.
Were the monks Catholic? Are all monks Catholic?
I don't
I
know.
think so, right?
I don't,
Catholic
guys.
monks.
Let's not get into that because we don't know.
Hey,
I don't know. the
We have no
answer to
problem
that.
talking about other things we
I'm
don't
just
know.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we just talked about the pyramids.
No.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Let's not get into what religion the monks are. Anyway,
Okay.
so I thought that was weird, and I wanted to throw it up here. I don't think there's a lot that we can say about it, other than that
Yeah.
it should have been flushed.
Someone should have. That's a crime against
You didn't
humanity.
flush
That
it.
wasn't.
I'm
flushed.
wondering, like, wouldn't it be funny if it was like, I don't know, like it almost seems like it's routed somewhere upstairs because it's so high to the ceiling.
The only thing I can think of is it being some sort of valve.
But why a urinal flushing
There's
system?
no reason.
They might have done a renovation and
At
had like
all.
an extra. Had that piping left over. Or like, hey, we need another
Yeah.
valve.
Well, you-
Maybe they needed to plug it. They
Yeah.
just left it there.
maybe they extended the
Was it
ceiling.
in a basement?
I don't perfectly know. I don't know at all, actually.
Maybe they extended the ceiling and just left the pipe, but I don't know why you would just leave the pipe.
Maybe they
You
lowered
could
the
just cap
bathroom.
the-
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
they would. They would.
the
They
whole
would have
building-
raised the bathroom above it, and just left the bathroom that was above.
Oh.
Because that
Yeah.
room would have been like quite a bit shorter. Because those, a flush valve on a urinal is like
Like
I'm gonna say
chest height.
4. Yeah, I'm gonna say 5,
4 or 5 feet.
4 or
I'd
5
say
feet.
4, maybe.
4
I'd say
seems
4
like a
feet.
better
I don't know the code yet for that. That's
loser.
I don't know. I'm just a laborer. Right
Obviously
now.
not a journeyman. Yeah, so I thought it was worthy enough to be mentioned on the pod because
Yeah,
it
that's
was-
interesting.
Because we like to talk about weird bathroom stuff.
We do.
And that's a weird one.
It's our second time doing that.
Like scrunch and
It's
fold.
more than our second.
Is
But, Yeah,
I fold.
I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
we
okay.
should.
I'm a folder.
Scrunch or fold. You're a folder.
That's weird. Folders are weird.
Yeah.
I'm
If we
totally-
would have known that
cleaner.
before we asked you to be on.
Imagine you get a scrunch and you think you have it really nice and scrunched, but there's a little hole, and you go to wipe and your finger just goes right up there.
Yeah, that would be a bummer.
That would-
Only it's
Has that
never
ever happened to you?
ever.
Never happened to me.
Well,
You should try scrunching.
It'll
I
change you.
scrunched.
I folded. I hate it.
I folded too.
I used to
feels like
scrunch all the time.
if I fold, it feels like I'm wasting so much more toilet paper.
It
And I
feels
think
like
that's- I think the
it doesn't have
opposite
the
is
same
true.
amount of grit. It doesn't seem like. You know, it feels like you're
Yes.
wiping with wax paper.
Yeah, thank you. That's so
Like,
true.
there's no.
feels like you're
what
wiping.
kind of toilet paper do you guys use?
Not Charmin Ultra Soft. That's for sure, rich
Yeah.
boy.
We don't have.
Yeah,
Charmin
that's your
Ultra.
problem.
We have double, triple.
Quadruple. Never mind.
You only have double ply?
You guys ever saw the toilet paper where if you hold it up you can see through it? It's like
Yeah,
half
Big Sandy
ply.
had that stuff. It was the worst.
That's called single ply, boys.
Single ply, the worst. Did you guys have a stall at Big Sandy that you like always used, and that was like the stall you used?
I used to do that everywhere. Like,
I
anytime
tried
I'm
to-
somewhere.
I tried
more
to do it
than-
somewhere.
At camp, my little brother. I was there. I was a cabin buddy at the camp, and I didn't see the turd,
Oh
but it
my.
was
What is
so
this going?
large that it couldn't flush down the toilet.
Not
it
real.
got stuck aside. It was real.
Not real.
They had it. Dude, this is making me like want to gag.
They
thinking about it.
photographed it.
Yes, I saw the photo. Dude, Anders went in there
Really?
and had it like shut it down and like get everyone out of there because they were trying to like flush it and they were like, oh, it was bad.
Well, it's easy. You just break it up.
Well, yeah, with what? You gonna break it up with your hand?
I guess.
Ew.
I don't know.
Turd boy.
Turd boy.
Anyway. Anyway, so I thought that would be worthy enough to talk about on the pod. And then,
Last thing. Here we go.
last thing. Should we do the last thing? Or should we do one more thing?
I think we should wrap it up because we're over an hour.
Are we for sure, though? Because I
You said you're over an hour.
Why do people
Well,
do that? I have to
I'm
get
an
it, I have
hour.
to get it off
I'm
my
an
chest.
hour and 7. But what'd you say?
Can we do the why do people do that?
Let's do the why do
'Cause
people do that and then call it a podcast.
Why do people?
All right.
He was
okay,
so
guys.
ready.
So we asked Maciah to bring the why do people do that.
This is gonna make me.
He has a lot, it seems like he has a lot
infuriated.
more passion about this than we ever have.
Why
so-
do people?
No, the first couple ones we had
Yeah.
good passion about it.
Why do people overuse their horns? Not because they're going to say hi, but
Here we go.
when you're on the road and like you do something that is so minute and they get like upset and there's no reason for them to use the horn, but they do anyways, and you're just like, what did that do? I've never used.
It sounds like you've
my
taken a
horn.
heavy dose of copium because
Copium.
like cope, you're coping.
Oh,
Because
dude.
you're just a bad driver. That's what this
Here's
is.
what I
That's
think. I think
I'm
it's
an okay
hilarious
driver.
that we constantly do. Why do people do that about driving or the road?
We're all on the road a lot. I think
My
that's what it is.
my
I'm on the
fiance
road all day.
literally called me before you guys got here and said, "I have a why do people do that?" And it was about the road, and I was like, "We're not going to do another road one." And here we are.
I just needed to
No,
just
but
let
it's a
the
good
world
question.
know.
It's a good question, and my answer is, I think people who use the horn the most are men. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know.
Question. What do you guys think?
I guess I don't.
Dude, I was
experience that a lot.
Probably 4 cars behind this person and merged. Just so happened to be
Yeah,
at
they
the
don't like that.
same time as they did, but it was so far. It was like really far behind them, and then I was like, oh, I feel bad. I'm gonna merge over again, and they merged with me.
Oh, no.
And it was at night, and then I merged over again to exit, and I look over, and they're just flicking me off. I'm like,
They didn't use the
"What?"
horn though.
I think she did use the horn.
Oh, here's my point. Okay, if you put a thing in front of a person that makes noise, all you have to do is push. They're gonna push it, and they're gonna push it whenever they want.
Stupid.
Especially
It
when there's zero
aggravates
repercussions
me.
for doing so.
Right.
Oh,
Honking the horn is so fun, by the way, because one, it makes everybody go, whoa, what was that? Like,
Yeah.
you could be on
That's
a
true.
packed highway, and if you just go beep, like everybody, like
Whoa.
everybody's like, whoa, what's good? Was that at me? Were they honking at me? Like,
Dude.
you know, what was I doing wrong? Are my blinkers on? You know. So for one, I'm a little bit on the side of the people who use their horn because the horn is gone. The purpose of the horn, which I believe was to like say, hey, something bad could happen or something like that. I don't really know. Or like you're merging over and like I'm here.
You think
I'm
it's
here.
gone? Is that what you're saying? It's gone.
I'm saying that being the only use of it is gone and can't be restored. So let's have fun with it, because I don't think
logic
that,
is so
I don't
bad.
think that people are I don't think that people are like so immune to it that they don't react when it's hit. But
I think in some places they
Yeah.
are.
maybe, but not around
Like
here.
New York?
So
I'm sure.
all day long.
As
is that
in
just a
traffic.
stereotype?
No,
I don't know. I've never been there.
Dude, my friend was in New York and he was recording in Times Square, and all you heard in the background was like horns.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. I thought it was too. It's
That's a
weird
good
thing.
time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Noisy.
He just loves it. He hears a horn. he just smiles.
I just think that it's fun to honk the horn. That's what I think. I think it's fun
pretty
to honk
fun.
the horn. And when I,
think
get
it can
to
cause road rage. I think
Maybe it can.
I think the problem is road rage. I would agree with that.
and I'm not trying to make anyone upset.
I
I
get
get upset when people honk
I'm
at
really
me, and I
mad
don't
at
want
you
to-
right now.
I don't want
I'm
to
upset.
do anything that I wouldn't want someone to do to me for me to do to them.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
That is
Yeah.
the best quote I've ever heard in my life.
Remember when we
Someone
used to do
should put
quote
that
of the
on a
week?
T-shirt.
Did we ever do that?
We used
Yeah,
to
we
do quote,
did.
we used to do quote of the week.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
We stopped. Should we bring it back? If you guys want, if we can get one
The
person.
quote of this week is
I'll tell
what did you
right
just
now.
say? Say it again.
I would never want someone
to do something to me that I wouldn't want them to do to me to them, or something like that.
Yeah.
Live that, you guys.
Live that.
Live
It's
that.
biblical.
It's biblical.
It is biblical.
The right one is biblical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one.
Not-
I don't know what that one was.
correct.
Yeah.
I don't know why people do that.
It's
Colin,
road
what's your
rage.
take?
It's road rage, which I can empathize with. I have a pretty short fuse while I'm driving, to be honest with you. I don't honk though. I just kind of
I don't
bottle it
either.
up.
I just don't
I'm
see
a
a need.
bigger fan of like the like dropping a few gears and then just flying past them
Yeah.
aggressively. I feel like that sends more of a message than honking.
Oh, definitely, dude.
You know?
If only I had a good
I
car.
think I'm the chillest driver. I know.
Ian's like, hey, you're going 10 under. It's cool. We're all just having fun here.
Oh,
I'll just
you
pass
cut me
them.
off.
I don't know why they're going that slow.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not saying I like get mad. I don't aggressively pass people unless like they deserve it. You know, if someone's just driving slow in the right lane, that's fine. I'm saying this is like if someone's driving slow in the left lane type deal.
Oh,
You know,
I gotcha.
or
Yeah, I don't
I just
have a
feel
problem with
like
that.
it. This guy,
and
this
I will
guy,
say,
driver.
I will
You're
say,
one of those guys.
I will
He's
say,
cool- he's
I-
cool with
hey,
just
hold
chilling
up,
in
hold
left
up,
lane.
hold up. I will say my left lane etiquette is probably flawed, but I've never had anybody be mad at me,
Oh,
except
dude.
for people that have never driven with me and had me do it while I've done it.
You've never,
I've
has someone ever passed you in the right lane?
Occasionally,
Then you're doing it
it's
wrong.
happened.
That shouldn't happen.
Okay.
That's my.
I
my
will
thesis.
say another thing is when people start passing you in the right lane and they all line up to pass you in the right lane, and I can't get over because you're all now passing me.
That does happen sometimes.
So
when
what
you,
am I
when
supposed
you try to
to
pass
do?
someone
What am-
and
what am
then
I supposed
they
to do?
speed
'Cause
up and you're
because
stuck?
of, yeah, well, no, because okay, there's a line of cars behind me and I don't feel like going 7-8 miles
Then
an
get
hour
out of
over
the
the
left
speed limit. So I start to move over, but before I do, they move over and they start passing me. So I'm like, okay, I'll get over after this one. And then another one gets over and then another one gets over. And now if I speed up to correct whatever you guys think is a flaw that I've been doing, they're going to be pissed because now they can't merge back over. So I am trapped in this never-ending cycle.
Yes, you're trapped because you put yourself in that situation.
Facts.
If you're in the left lane and you see cars coming up behind you, if you're in the left lane and someone is going faster than you coming up, it is your duty to get out of their way.
And I was going
someone,
to get
someone
out of
should
the way.
never have to hit
I
their
was
brakes. in the
gonna
left
get
lane.
out of my way. I was gonna get out of their way.
But you
You have to be more observant.
you weren't.
Here's the deal. At the end of the day, I will say my left lane etiquette is flawed
Yes.
by the moral standards of the world, and I can live with that. Okay,
I
but
think it's just road etiquette.
And the law.
whatever. That's what I said. That's the same thing.
It's
is
the
what I
passing
said.
lane. It's not the. It's
But
not for.
technically, if someone is passing you in that lane, they're probably going 15 miles an hour over the speed limit, so they're
Sure,
breaking the
but
law. That's normally my.
It's not your job to be the police. And
I'm
be
not the police.
I'm not saying you are, but the point is, if you're just driving in the left lane and not actively passing someone, that's not what the left lane is for.
Sure.
And in most situations, obviously, if there's like backed up traffic, you're supposed to use both lanes. But
Yeah. Or if you need to turn
Right,
into the
right.
other,
correct.
then you can get in the left lane
Yeah.
a mile
You
before.
have to. Yes,
You know, and that's okay.
that is okay. But that's not what we're talking about.
I recently told Colin to get in the left lane about a mile before he had to turn, and he lasted about
Ian
10
gives
seconds.
because someone was trying to go faster than me in the left lane.
That is not true. There was nobody around us, and you're like, I can't do it. And you
Because
moved
I saw
back
him coming
over.
up behind me.
There was nobody
Oh.
around.
There was. You can't see
Observant.
because you don't have the mirrors when you're in the passenger seat.
Oh, okay. Well, I
And
didn't
then
think
you know
there
what
was
happened?
anybody
He
around.
passed me in the right lane, and I was so
passed
ashamed.
you?
No.
Yes.
Wow.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh.
You got back over into the right
I got
lane.
it back over after he passed me,
Wow.
Oh, well, whatever.
and it was bad.
It was bad. I felt
It was
really
bad. It was bad. It was bad.
It was bad. It was
Dude, I was
bad.
gonna talk about No Shave for November quick. I've been putting still No Shave for November. Obviously, you have to do it if you're a man. If you're not doing it, you're not a real man.
Clearly.
Whoops.
Clearly, I've been putting.
Have you been shaving, Colin?
I shaved. We talked about this last week.
Your chin looks unshaved.
We talked about it.
I
He's going through with it until December 3rd.
correct. Was it 3rd that I shaved around November 3rd.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
So I'll go a few days
I
later.
listen and remember the pod.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maciah actually listens to it. You know.
I've been putting peppermint oil after a warm shower, so my pores are open. Peppermint oil and avocado oil on my face to activate the hair follicles in my face.
And
how's it
It's,
working?
I don't know how well it's working right now, but I'll get back
I don't
to you
see any progress.
at the there's a patch on my cheek right here that has like no hair, but I feel like there's hair growing there now, just little peach fuzz.
Seems like time is doing that to you.
Well, there was previously 0 hair there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no shave November is going fine for me. I did get a haircut, and he took my sideburns off, and he went just like a little bit down with his buzzer.
That's all right. It was.
And it wasn't my fault.
Like, oh, what? Does that count?
It wasn't my fault. So I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to keep it rolling,
Okay.
Yeah.
and maybe I won't. I didn't shave though. Somebody has shaved
No.
me. How does that work?
I'm not
Wait,
gonna say
loophole.
that. I'm not.
Loophole. Loophole. Somebody shaved me. What am I supposed to do? Anyway,
He's gonna show up clean shaven and be like, "I didn't do it,
I
so
didn't
it's fine."
do it, so it's okay.
It's
but
fine.
I hate it. I'll say that.
You hate it
I
not
hate
shaving?
You
It. Yeah.
hate no, but I do. I don't like it.
I don't like it. I can't grow facial hair the way that the rest of my family can.
Yeah, it's
My
weird.
14-year-old brother grows better facial hair than me.
That sucks.
It does.
It
It
does.
does.
It
he
really
though?
does.
Can he grow a mustache like that? I don't think so.
No, but this took a long time, and there was a long period of it being bad.
Sure.
I think we're for sure at least an hour at this point.
Yeah,
so
we're well over an hour.
Yep.
So I appreciate you guys listening. It was a pleasure having Maciah on. I will say, it felt like we didn't have a guest. Just felt like we had
Just
were
another
a three
co-host.
host
The Mia
podcast.
3 goes.
Yeah, that.
Maciah,
So-
do you want to do you have any social media you want to plug or anything?
Yeah,
Um,
anything you want to throw out
Do you have a
there.
website?
I
Where can people find you?
Mart's
you
Homes. Check out Mart's Homes.
You can check out Mart's Homes on Facebook. My roommate Tim. Shout out Tim.
Shout out Tim.
Shout
What a
out
guy.
Micaiah Roundnet on Instagram.
Yo.
If you like spike ball, I don't really post on there a lot, but I'm going to. Huge spike ball type of guy. Spike his life. I was just playing before this actually.
Wow.
At St. Thomas.
Wow.
Got a parking ticket
Ooh.
for $45. I put a old
here we
parking
go.
ticket.
Who can't drive now?
I put an old parking ticket on my windshield.
You tried
and
the
it
trick.
didn't
Oh,
work.
no.
It didn't work. Maciah _ Aldrich on Instagram as well. Those are my socials. that
Love
you
it.
need to know
Love
about.
it. All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure. Let us know what you guys thought about having a guest on here. If you enjoyed it, if you were like, "That's dumb," I just want to hear Ian and Colin talk.
That's what's going to be.
We'd
most-
like to
Let
know.
me know.
We'd
DM
like-
me and
Please
roast
don't.
me.
Please don't do
Roast
that.
No, but as always, let us know if you have anything that you want us to talk about or any hot takes that you want our opinion on. And that's all I got.
That's the podcast. Love you. Oh, what? Hold on.
whoa.
Love you. Bye.